Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to explain about human skeletal system. Our human skeletal system includes mainly bones and cartilages. It forms the main supporting framework of our body and is mainly designed for the production of movements with the help of muscles. Composition of bones, as we already said that human skeletal system is mainly formed by bones. Composition of bone is connective tissue and calcium salts. As bone is mainly formed by connective tissue and calcium salts. These connective tissue make our bones very flexible, which can afford the resistance. Coming to calcium salts, which give the strength to the bone, and so that our bones withstand to the many stresses which we undergo in our daily life. Coming to the division of the human skeletal system, our human skeletal system is mainly divided into axial skeletal system and appendicular skeletal system. Axial skeletal system includes skull, vertebral column, thoracic cage. Okay. Coming to appendicular skeletal system, our upper extremity and lower extremity comes under appendicular skeletal system. See, with the help of a small stick diagram, now let us discuss about axial skeletal system and appendicular skeletal system. See, skull, vertebral column and thoracic cage comes under axial skeletal system. Coming to appendicular skeletal system, upper extremity and lower extremity comes under appendicular skeletal system. See, our appendicular system is attached to the axial skeletal system with the help of shoulder girdle and pelvic girdle. Okay. Now let us discuss all the bones which comes under axial skeletal system and appendicular skeletal system. Coming to axial skeletal system, as we already told that skull, vertebral column and thoracic cage comes under axial skeletal system. So skull is mainly formed by cranium and facial bones. Okay. In cranium bone, we can see frontal bone, parietal bone, temporal bone, occipital bone, ethmoid bone, and sphenoid bone. Coming to facial bones, we can see lacrimal bone, mandible bone, maxilla bone, nasal bone, zygomatic bone, which is also known as cheekbone. These are the bones which comes under facial bones. Okay. Along with these bones, we can also see hyoid bone and three small bones which are present in our innermost of eye. Those are stapes, incus, and malleolus. These are the three small bones which are present inside the ear. Okay. Coming to vertebral column, our vertebral column has mainly 5 regions. What are those regions? Cervical region, thoracic region, lumbar region, sacral and coccyx. So these 5 regions forms our vertebral column. Okay, in cervical region we can see 5 bones, in thoracic region we can see 12, lumbar again 5, sacral 5 bones fused to form 1 bone, and in coccyx 3 bones are fused to form 1 bone. These are the bones which forms our vertebral column. Coming to thoracic cage. Thoracic cage is formed by sternum bone and our ribs. These are the bones which form our thoracic cage. This is the thoracic cage. Okay, this thoracic cage is formed by mainly, this is the in front view of our body we can see the sternum bone. These ribs are attached to our sternum bone. Ribs are again 24 in number. Okay, these are the bones which comes under the axial skeletal system. Coming to appendicular skeletal system, as we already said that appendicular skeletal system is attached to the axial skeletal system with the help of shoulder girdle and pelvic girdle. Okay, in shoulder girdle we can see clavicle and scapula bones. In pelvic girdle we can see hip bones. These bones are used to connect our appendicular skeletal system to the axial skeletal system. Okay, coming to appendicular skeletal system. In appendicular skeletal system we already said that we have upper extremity and lower extremity. Okay, for this is our upper extremity now. With the help of shoulder girdle our upper extremity is attached to the axial skeletal system. In upper extremity we can see again 3 regions. What are those regions? Arm, forearm and again hand. These are the 3 regions which comes under our upper extremity. In arm we can see only one bone which is known as humerus bone. Coming to this is present between the shoulder joint and the elbow joint. Coming to forearm region we can see 2 bones which are known as radius and ulna. These are the 2 bones which are present in the forearm. Forearm region is present between the elbow region and the wrist joint. Okay, coming to hand region we can see small 8 carpal bones, 5 metacarpal bones and 14 phalanges which forms our hand region. So these are the bones which present in our upper extremity. Coming to lower extremity, with the help of pelvic girdle our lower extremity is attached to the skeletal system. Again lower extremity is 3 regions like upper extremity, see thigh region, leg region and foot region. In thigh region we can see the longest bone in our body which is known as femur bone, which is present between the hip joint and the knee joint. Coming to the leg region, again we can see 2 bones like forearm region. These bones are known as tibia and fibula. Coming to foot region we can see 7 tarsal bones, 5 metatarsal bones and 14 phalanges. Okay, these are the bones which are present in our axial skeletal system and appendicular skeletal system. Now we will discuss about the classification of these bones. Okay, classification has been done based on some features. What are those features? Based on shape, based on development, based on region, based on structure. Based on these features, classification of bones have been done. Okay, coming to the classification on classification of bones based on shape, we can see long bones, short bones, irregular bones, flat bones, pneumatic bones, sesamoid bones, and accessory bones. These are the bones which comes under the classification of bones based on the shape. Okay, long bones. Now let us discuss about each of them in detail. Coming to long bones. Long bones see, all the long bones in our body comes under this classification. Okay, with the help of diagram, see this is the shaft of a bone. First let us discuss the parts. Okay, this is the shaft of a bone, which is also known as diaphysis. Okay, this shaft consists two expanded ends. Okay, these ends are known as epiphyseal ends. Okay, upper end and lower end. Okay, and inner we can see some medullary cavity. Okay, these are the parts which we can see in the long bones. Okay, in long bones there are again three types. What are those? Typical long bones, miniature long bones, and modified long bones. Okay, in typical long bones we can see all these features, like they have diaphysis, epiphysis, two epiphyseal ends, one diaphyseal, one shaft, and they consist the medullary cavity. So these are all the features we can see in the typical long bones. Examples for typical long bones are humerus, femur, radius ulna, tibia, fibula. These are the bones which comes under the typical long bones. Coming to miniature long bones. In miniature long bones we cannot see two epiphyseal ends like in typical long bones. Okay, in typical long bones we can see both the both the epiphyseal ends. Okay, but while coming to miniature long bones we can see only one epiphyseal end. Okay, examples of these miniature long bones are metacarpal bones and metatarsal bones. These bones consist only one epiphyseal end. Coming to modified long bones, in these modified long bones we cannot see the medullary cavity, as the medullary cavity is absent in these modified long bones. Example for this modified long bones is the clavicle bone. Okay, now coming to short bones. These are the small bones which are present in our body, which comes under the classification based on the shape. Okay, they may be scaphoid shape or boat shape. Okay, they consist mainly this shape. They are very short in size also. Okay, example of these bones are our carpal bones and metacarpal bones. These are the short bones in our body. Next classification is irregular bones. Irregular bones, as they don't have any perfect shape, they are known as the irregular bones. Best example of irregular bones are hip bone. See, our hip bone doesn't have a perfect shape, as three bones are fused to form a bone which is known as a hip bone. So it doesn't have a perfect shape. Okay, coming to flat bones, these are the bones which consist some plate like structures. Okay, example for flat bones are the bones of some of the bones of our skull. Coming to pneumatic bones. Pneumatic bones are the bones which consist the air spaces in them, so that it help to produce some vibration sensations, while so they are help to produce the sound. Example for the pneumatic bone is the maxilla bone. Okay. Coming to sesamoid bones, these are the bones which are the small bony nodules present in our body. Okay, they are mainly formed at the joint capsule region and the tendon region, which are the highly susceptible to the pressure. Example for the sesamoid bones are the patella and pisiform bone. Okay, pisiform bone is present in the carpal regions. This is the wrist region. Here we can see the 8 carpal bones. This is the pisiform bone. See, this is the bony nodule. You can palpate yourself. So this is the bone which is formed at our flexor carpi ulnaris, as it is the area which is susceptible to high pressure. Coming to patella is present at our knee, which is also known as the kneecap. This bony nodule is formed at the quadriceps muscle, tendon of quadriceps. Okay. Coming to accessory bones, these are the bones which are normally, in normal conditions they are not present. In some pathological or some abnormal conditions we can see these bones. Example for these bones are the cervical rib. Means normally we can see the 12 pairs. No, some extra rib is present above the first rib, so which is present at the cervical region, so it is named as the cervical rib. It comes under some, so it leads to some compressions, it leads to some complications. So these are the classifications of bones based on the shape. Coming to developmental classification, we can again see development means the ossification of bone, whether the ossification of bone has done, whether the bone is ossified in membrane or it is ossified in cartilage. Based on that, this classification has been done. Okay. In this we can see membrane bones, cartilageal bones, cartilage membrane bones, somatic bones, and visceral bones. These are the different types. Membrane bones. Membrane bones are the bones, the ossification of the bone has occurred in the membrane. So before going into this topic, let us discuss about the ossification of the bone. See, ossification. What is ossification? Ossification is nothing but the development of the bone. Okay, first we already said that bone is a connective tissue. No, from connective tissue to hard part, the development this to develop into a hard part, it undergoes some changes. So now let us discuss that part. Okay. See, first I already said that it is a connective tissue, means from connective tissue to it changes into some mesodermal tissue. Then it convert into cartilage. Then the formation of bone occurs. This is the process of the ossification of a bone. First it is a connective tissue, then it will convert into mesodermal tissue, then it will convert into cartilage, finally it forms into a bone. This is the process of ossification. In membranous bones, the after it converted into mesodermal tissue, it directly converted into a bone by skipping this process. Okay, in membrane bones, okay, this step is skipping this. The mesodermal tissue has to convert into cartilage, but in this membrane bones, this step is skipping, and it directly, the mesodermal tissue is directly converted into a bone. Coming to cartilaginous bones, we can see all these steps. Means the connective tissue is converted into mesodermal tissue, the mesodermal tissue is ossified into cartilage, and cartilage is ossified to bone. Okay, this is the if all these steps undergo, it comes under the cartilaginous bone. Okay, coming to membranocartilaginous bone. Okay, in this, half of the part is ossified by membranous bone and half occurs in cartilage bone. Means both we can see. Okay, next, visceral bones. Visceral bones means all the bones which are able to produce our blood cells comes under visceral bones. Somatic bones. Somatic bones means the bones which can able to produce our blood cells like WBC, RBC and platelets. Those bones comes under the somatic bones. Coming to visceral bones. Visceral bones are the bones which are present, which are formed at the pharyngeal arches of our body, known as the visceral bones. Example is the hyoid bone. Okay, these are the bones based on the developmental classification. Coming to regional classification. Regional classification we already discussed. What is the taxial and appendicular skeletal system? So as we have already discussed, now I'm not explaining about this. Next, structural classification. Okay, structure means based on architecture we have describing microscopically means we can see with our naked eye. By our naked eye we are going to dividing it into compact bone and cancellous bone. Okay, with the help of our naked eye. Microscopic classification means with the help of microscope we are dividing it into lamellar bone, woven bone, fibrous bone, dentine bone and cement. Okay, compact and cancellous bone. Okay, see, as we already said that this is the shaft region now. As the shaft region consists the layers like periosteum layer, or which is also known as the cortex, means this is the strongest strongest now. So as all the like compressive forces, shearing forces, all the tensile forces, all the forces act mainly at the shaft area, so it is very strong. So this is known as the compact bone. Coming to the ends like upper end and the lower end, compared to this shaft, the force is somewhat less here. Okay, so this region is somewhat like spongy, and compared to the compact bone, it is somewhat smooth. Okay, so these regions comes under the upper end and lower end comes under the cancellous bone, compact bone. Shaft or the diaphysis comes under the compact bone. With the help of our naked eye, we can able to differentiate the compact bone and cancellous bone. Okay, coming to microscopical classification, we can see lamellar bone, woven bone, fibrous bone, and dentine and cement. This dentine and cement present in at our tooth area. Coming to lamellar bone, see in this compact and cancellous bone, we can see some plate like structures. Okay, here the bone is formed with the help of some thin plates of tissue. That tissue is known as lamella. Okay, these are arranged like some curved plates in cancellous bone. Coming to in compact bone, they are arranged like in the form of the cylinders. Okay, coming to now woven bone. In woven bone is mainly seen in fetal bones. It can also see if suppose some fracture or some injury has happened to our bone, at that time the regeneration takes place. No, at that time we can see the bone like forms of the all the collagen fibers and the crystals are arranged randomly. So that time that type is also comes under the woven bone. Coming to fibrous bone. Fibrous bone is also present in the fetal region. Fetal bones. So these are already said that the dentine and the cement are seen in the tooth area or in our tooth. So this is the classification of our bone. So based on shape, development, feature and structure, based on these features the classification of bones have been done. In shape we can see long bone, short bone, irregular bone, flat bone, pneumatic bone, sesamoid bone, accessory bones. Based on developmental classification, we can see membrane bone, cartilage bone, membranocartilaginous bones, somatic bones, visceral bones. Based on regional classification, we can see axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Based on structural classification, we can see microscopically compact and cancellous bones. Microscopically we can see lamellar bone, woven bone, fibrous bone, dentine and cement bone. Okay, this is the classification of our human skeletal system. Thank you.